Welcome to the channel. I hope that you are enjoying the content. Today I'm going to be talking about She-Hulk Attorney at Law, which the first episode aired today. So if you haven't seen the episode yet, then you might want to go and check it out and then come back and listen to this review, because I am going to be talking about some of the things that happen in it. Okay, so I've not been deaf to all of the things that have been going on in the press about She-Hulk. I mean, there's been a lot of talk about the CGI. There's been a lot of talk about how the show is portrayed, how it portrays certain things and certain people. And for me, I tend to just watch it. I watch it. I make my own opinion when I see it. I don't make my opinion based on other people. So I just went and I watched it. And the thing that struck me was, a lot of the time the CGI actually wasn't that bad. There were some elements of it that were bad, but in general, I didn't think it was that bad at all. May just be me. I'm sure that if you analyse it deeper, there's going to be trouble with it. But for me, the CGI in general wasn't that bad at all. That wasn't the problem for me. The problem for me was, well, there were a couple of problems for me. Okay, so what basically what happens is that that Bruce Banner and Jennifer Walters are involved in a crash, and their blood gets hit, and Banner's blood gets put in, or leaks into, or drips into Jennifer's wound on her arm, and then she turns into the She-Hulk. And for me, I mean, I don't know much about the comic books. I have to be honest. I just review the TV shows. I don't know much about the comic books, and there are going to be people out there who know far more about the comic books than I do. But for me, it just looked a little bit weird for me. It was just like, she turns into the Hulk, and all of a sudden she can change when she wants to. She can change in and out of being the Hulk. And here's Bruce Banner, who's been through years of trying to figure out what happens, and makes this clever little gadget on his arm, which makes him keep his human form, which is only taken him years to find out. But now all of a sudden he can do it. I mean, okay, fair enough. But the elements of this She-Hulk is faster or stronger than he is, and can do more than he can, all this kind of stuff, kind of just felt really cheesy to me. It was like, oh, he throws a boulder, she throws it further. He hits the ground, she hits it harder. It's just like, it's a cheesy thing. They're meant to be, I thought it was going to be some kind of like B-roll of them training together and him trying to teach her how to use her powers and stuff like that. But it wasn't like that. It was just a bunch of cheesy scenes where they were basically trying to one-up each other, which, I know this is billed as being a comedy, but it wasn't a comedy for me. It didn't make me laugh, which is a shame, because I really hoped that it would, but it didn't. So I had to think about the situation and the writing. The writing wasn't very good at all. There were parts of it that were quite good, but most of it was just about going over the same thing again and again and again, and it just seemed to be a bit ploddy in the beginning part of the episode. And the part where they're on the island, yeah, it was okay. But if it had been a bit more energetic, and if there had been a bit more emphasis on, how she feels and how this is going to happen. Now, this might be explored later on in the series, but my initial thoughts are on this first episode. And there was one particular scene near the beginning where I heard a rumour that they wanted to keep this scene in the bathroom, because they felt it was really important, having women help each other in the bathroom. They thought this was a really important scene. And I thought, okay, so this was the scene that turned up. Basically, she came into the bathroom of this bar. She was cut up. She was dirty. She was dishevelled. She was trying to clean herself up. And these women come into the bathroom. And if it was me, and I saw someone who was dirty, dishevelled, bleeding, I would be like, hey, what happened? Do you want me to get you a doctor? Do you want me to call the police? What's going on? What's happened to you? That didn't happen. They were just like, listen, whoever it is, they ain't worth it. And here's my shoes, and let's do your hair, and let's put your makeup on. Now, I can't imagine in that scenario that any woman would do that. That they would be like, she's bleeding, she's cut up, she's dirty. Let's just give her some clothes, do her hair, put her makeup on, let's fix it. Didn't ask her for any if she wanted any help, didn't ask if she wanted any medical attention, anything like that. I don't think that scene should have been put in, and I can understand why they wanted to take it out, because it just seemed really weird, to be fair. But anyway, as things progressed, and so Jennifer is determined to go back to her old life and doesn't want to be a superhero, doesn't want to be, doesn't believe in what Bruce is saying to her. She just says, right, okay, I'm fine. I can change when I want to. I can control my anger. Absolutely fine. And then, of course, she goes back to court, and this, I can't remember the characters' names. I'm sorry. This woman turns up who's obviously got superpowers. She turns into the She-Hulk and she defeats them. And I'm sure this is going to pan out. Obviously, we've got a lot more to come in the coming episodes. But in this first episode, it just seemed to me as though it was trying too hard to be funny. Comedy, good comedy doesn't have to try hard. It just is funny. And it's the way that it's written, it's the way that it's directed, the way that they're acting it. That is, for me, the sign of good comedy. This seemed to be pushing it too hard, trying too hard to be funny. Really pushing on the jokes and the snide remarks and the criticism and the all that kind of thing. Just didn't really work for me. But I'm still going to keep watching it, because I obviously want to keep doing the reviews of it, and also because I want to see if this does redeem itself as the time goes on. But I would love to hear your thoughts. If you saw the episode, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think after the episode. Let me know if you think that there's any parts of it that you liked or you didn't like. I would love to hear in the comments down below. Thank you very much.